Welcome to Mortgage on My Mind, where we take the mystery out of mortgages and make dreams of home ownership a reality. I'm Natalie Salins, a top 1% mortgage broker with 20 years of experience, based right here in sunny Los Angeles. If you've ever wondered about pre-approvals, appraisals, or what loan product is right for you, don't worry, I've got Mortgage on My Mind, so you don't have to. Each week, I'll bring you expert advice, real-life stories, and insider tips to help you navigate California's competitive real estate market with confidence. Whether you're buying your first home, refinancing, or just curious about how it all works, this podcast is for you. So let's talk mortgages, demystify the process, and make your real estate goals a reality. Ready to get started? Let's dive in. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Mortgage on My Mind. Welcome back. I'm Natalie Salins, your host. And today we have the excellent Shahe Seuylemezian. Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Thanks. Shahe is a highly accomplished real estate professional affiliated with RE/MAX Dream Properties. He's known for his exceptional client service and deep market knowledge. He has been in the industry for over 20 years, so he has quite a bit of experience. And he guides buyers and sellers through smooth and successful transactions. He also has a strong social media presence, which I want to chat about today and what that means. And he has an educational YouTube channel. He has consistent content that helps demystify real estate in today's markets and for the consumers of today. So welcome, Shahe. Thank you for being on.
Thank you, Natalie.
So you have a strong social media presence. And that, for me, as also somebody who's been in the business 20 years, that was like the hardest thing for me to get started. I remember just fighting my coach every single time we would talk. He'd be like, you have to get on video, you have to get on video. It's the reason I started this podcast, because I'm a teacher, right? I've been doing it so long, I teach it basically at this point. And I was like, I cannot take time out of my day to film a freaking video. I cannot, like, that is so not me. And he's like, come on, show people where you're at and what you're doing. And I was like, nobody cares what I'm doing. I don't care what I'm doing. I don't, like, it was a very hard thing for me to bite the bullet and do. How was it for you? And how did you create such a strong presence?
Exactly the same way you went through. I went through all the same thoughts about being in front of a video, although I don't have any problems in public speaking because I've been a volunteer president, chairman on different organizations, different nonprofits. So I have spoken a lot in public, but
Wow.
never holding a camera in front of me and just talking about what we do and how we do it. Yes, the same way I was fighting my coach, always. Everybody has been telling me video for the last maybe 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
But yet I said, okay, I've done everything. Why not? Come on. I am not a Hollywood actor. I don't care if I do mistakes. It's what I have to say. It's not how I look and what I do. So
Right.
that's how I started. Of course, the main boost started. I also doing only real estate or educational videos. I became a host for American Dream TV.
What does that mean? What's that?
American Dream TV is this streamline TV. You can see it on my YouTube channel, where it's lifestyle and real estate.
Oh,
It's,
wow.
yeah, it's not one of those fake reality shows. It's real shows. So I go decide on an area, city. I talk about that city, the advantages, what is it
Oh,
like living
wow.
in that city, and then I show one of my listings in that neighborhood. Because people, when they buying real estate, if they don't know an area, they want to know what is it like to be in that city, to be, what's the lifestyle like. So I show different things. I have interviewed a lot of different people on that TV show, and that picked up my YouTube viewers and all that. Of course, the educational videos helped. There's different kind of people who are interested. So it's different subjects collecting different followers.
Amazing. Cool. And what are the topics that, other than obviously the neighborhood, what are some of the topics that you discuss?
On the American Dream TV, I have interviewed mayor of Pasadena.
Oh, God. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
what is it about to live in Pasadena? What's different in Pasadena? I have interviewed the president of Rose Parade, if you're familiar with the Rose
Oh,
Parade.
yeah, sure.
Yeah. I went to the Rose Parade house, which is a historic property. We showed that property inside out. It was very interesting, informative. There is a chalk festival once annual, they do it. I think it was 40th or 45th year that they've been doing it. One of the largest world chalk festivals that all the artists come and do chalk drawings on the sidewalk in front of the convention center.
Wow.
So I interviewed the founder of that. It's different. Every time it was different.
Sure.
If I didn't find anybody to interview, I will interview myself. I have done the fully autonomous restaurant in Pasadena where everything was robot inside. I interviewed the engineer who built the robots and then the restaurant owner.
Oh, wow.
Everything
So
they
cool. Yeah,
handle, yeah.
yeah.
So
And
different
is that
subjects.
part of your YouTube channel? Is that what is
That
it?
was part of my YouTube channel too. Although that goes nationwide and it's on major TVs, Amazon TV, Hulu, everywhere.
Wow. So cool.
Yeah, I stopped doing that. I'm not doing that anymore, but yet my YouTube is still active and my social media is still active.
Got it. And on YouTube, what are your main videos about?
Either educational or real estate.
Where's this?
Listings, mainly those are the two things. Sometimes I talk about the market, what to avoid, what not to avoid, things like that. Mainly it's all real estate now.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, I
So
don't post any food that I eat or anything like that.
I did one of those videos and it made me feel very awkward. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to do that again.
Yeah.
It's weird. And it got like tons of feedback too. And you're just
I
like,
know.
I, yeah, that I'm a big foodie, but I don't want to talk about what I like to eat. So you've been in the industry for over 20 years. And what do you think is the biggest shift you have seen in, we'll start with like buyer behavior. What do you think is the difference? We're talking about millennials to a totally different Gen X or something.
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest shift you've seen?
Internet.
Okay.
Mainly it's internet. Before people needed us to
Yeah.
find them properties. Before people, first thing they would do is try to contact a realtor and see how they gonna find the property, what they gonna do, and all that. Of course, internet changed that, and now people they don't need us to find them properties, but they
Right.
need us for our expertise to tell them if that is the right property to buy, if what they need to look for, because people walk in, especially on a remodeled house, they walk in and they are, wow, it's beautiful. They don't see the disadvantage of it. And whenever I go out with a buyer, I don't tell them what I like about the property. I tell them what I don't like about the property, because those are things that they don't see. And
Right.
after they close escrow, then they're gonna see it and they're gonna say, what did we do? I don't want to hear that.
Of
I want every buyer that I work with to say thank you, Shahe, for getting this house afterward,
course.
not at that escrow, because that period, especially if they're first-time buyers, they're excited and they don't see anything. So that's the main thing. Of course, millennial generation, it's the same things that I said. They don't know what to look for. Yeah, they know the house, they know the mortgage payment, they know the how much they're gonna pay, how much down payment they're gonna put, but in a house, there's a lot of details.
Yeah.
And then also they don't know how to solve issues. I use a sentence which I have learned long time ago, and I use it every time is buying or selling a property is like flying from Los Angeles to Europe. I am the pilot and you're the passenger. Are we gonna hit any hurdles, any bumps? On the way, nobody knows. I cannot guarantee that, but my job is to
Right.
get you out of the bumps turbulence and safely to Europe. And that helps them understand
That's a great line. Yeah.
the
Like you
process
can't
of escape.
guarantee that it's going to be entirely smooth. Who knows
Yeah,
what weather is going to
every
be.
escrow has a
Yeah.
turbulence, every escrow, but and they will panic when there's a turbulence, and I will tell them that's where my job is. That's
Right.
why you're working with me. I'm gonna get you out of the turbulence. It's time to worry. I will tell you we need to worry. But usually I don't worry because I have seen it all. So most
Totally.
of it. Mainly this is it, I think, difference.
Yeah.
Another difference, major difference is shortage, housing shortage,
Mm.
especially
Is
in
it's
California.
bigger now than it was?
Much bigger, much bigger. Over the last 10 years, California has built 500,000 less homes every year.
I
So
know.
we
Yeah.
are at 5 million house shortage. If forget the fires that happened, even before the fires, if every contractor starts building, we're gonna need another 10 years to catch up with the 5 million shortage.
Yeah.
Also,
They say that like, because Los Angeles is enormous, but based on the amount of people and the space, we should be building something like 280,000 new homes a year for the type of space Los Angeles is. And I think at least in 2024, we built like 92.
yeah.
It's like grossly under what the county needs
It
to.
is. It is. Also, there's a generational real issue that is going to contribute toward the housing shortage, which is millennial generation is 2.5 times more than baby boomers. So if every baby boomer sells their house, there's not enough housing for the millennial. And yet, right after the millennial, which is the X generation, or I'm not sure about after millennial,
The Gen Z, I don't
Z,
know
Gen
either.
Z, Gen Z is twice as much as millennial. So you can see
People
what,
are we're overpopulating.
yep. So can you imagine what's happening to this shortage? And of course, in the last 3 years, the main difference was the millennial generation was not buying homes in the last 5 years, 6 years. They were saying, no, we're not going to get stuck in one house and we're going to keep traveling and enjoying the world.
Totally.
Suddenly, during COVID, the millennial generation, they didn't lose their jobs because most of them are professionals. They started working from home. And even if they are at their parents' home or a small rental unit, oh, this place is small because they're working from there and they're 8, 10 hours in that house. So they said, okay, we need to go out and buy larger homes, larger
Yeah.
houses. We need a backyard. We need this. So the whole generation suddenly came on the market to buy homes.
Yeah.
And that's what changed the whole real estate industry in the last 3 years, the craziness. Yes, interest rate helped, blah, blah, blah helped, but those were all helping. There was a main reason why it happened what happened.
Why values continue to go up and up and up because
The
it's
craziness.
supply and demand.
Yeah, the craziness. It was just crazy. The sellers were just throwing a number out there with no comps, and somebody was coming and paying $200,000 more than what they are.
I saw somebody do 400,000 more.
I know, I was just
Readily wanting to. Like when he and I spoke, he's, I'm going to offer this much on the house. And I know it's probably about 400, but he was a football player, so he was all right. But I know it's going to be about 400 off, and I'm willing to put 400 more down than what it's
yeah.
worth. I was just like, I'm not sure how I feel about that,
Yes.
but if you're okay with it, you have the assets.
Yeah.
So it's not really for me to be a financial advisor at this point, but that's
Also, I tell them that yes, as realtors, we do the comps, decide the value of a property. The appraiser comes, decides the value of a property, but yet the real value of a property is if a seller wants something, and if there's one buyer willing to pay that price, that's the price. I
the
don't care,
value of a property is what a buyer is willing to spend on
period. I
it.
don't care what
So
everybody else says.
unfortunately, the appraiser is not allowed to decide what just any buyer is willing to spend for it.
Yes, of course.
Because, of course, an appraisal is supposed to be a black and white version of what just the home is worth, not what it's worth to somebody else.
Yes.
And that's because the bank doesn't care what you're willing to spend. Because if you decide to stop paying your mortgage, the bank has to take over a home and it's what they're willing to spend on it. And so that's
Right.
what an appraisal does. It
Yeah.
gives the bank an idea of, hey, this is what it's actually worth, nuts and bolts of based on what everything else is selling. And then the bank says, all right, that's what we're willing to buy it for. Now, if you're willing to buy it for higher, you can spend above that more. But we're willing to buy it for this much and we're going to finance it based on that.
Yes.
Yeah. So it can be tricky in that way. Even though late, don't you feel a little bit like it's softened a little bit recently?
It's stabilized.
It's stabilizing, yeah.
Yeah. It's stabilizing, which is normal market to stabilize. It can keep going up and up and up. Affordability has gone down. And yet, I would say the supply is a little bit more than what it used to be year over year, if you look
Yeah.
at it. But the properties that are being marketed below market value, they're still getting multiple offers and it's still selling over asking. But
Yeah.
a lot of sellers, they think that we're still in the 2 years ago, 3 years ago pricing,
Yeah.
and they are adamant about the price. If it's over market value, it's not going to sell. It's going to sit on the market for a long time.
That's what we're
Also,
really seeing. Yeah.
yeah, also we got used to selling a property within a week. Those days are gone. We
Yeah.
used to list the property on Monday, the next one open house, next Monday it's in escrow. Those days are gone. Those days are gone. Also, a lot of agents, listing agents that are having problem with is they are listing it on MLS and waiting for a buyer to come. Again, I would say those days are gone. You need to advertise. You need to spend money on advertising, do targeted advertising in order to be able to sell the property.
Interesting. Yeah.
If you don't do, yeah, a lot of agents, they don't want to spend money. And that's why they cannot sell the property. If you don't stage it, if you don't have professional photographers, you're taking photos with your iPhone, you're not going to sell that property.
Yeah. Especially because everything is so online and so targeted to seeing it just through picture. So the interest is driven and initiated from the picture. It better be a good picture. But the problem is most of the time you see the picture and you're like, this house is so big, even though it says 1,300 square feet. And then you look at it and you're like, oh my God, that bedroom is so small.
Yeah, I know.
Because the
Another is
house
that
is that big.
I have seen a lot of properties that are on the market, they don't have any YouTube videos. And I
Mm,
don't know what they're thinking about. You don't have a video. Today, people watch video. They don't read. I don't care what you have in that description.
yeah.
If you don't read it, it's not gonna happen. If you don't have a video, it's not gonna. And if you don't do that video with targeted advertising, again, it's not gonna work. You need to do targeted advertising. You need to do your research, find out in that neighborhood who is your potential buyer and what are they searching for? What hashtags are they searching for? And that's how you need to connect to those people.
Yeah. That's so interesting. Good for you for knowing hashtags and all that. Yeah. I stick to my tax returns. So, what would you say are the strategies in representing buyers and sellers that have remained timeless throughout all the years and all the changes of the couple of decades that we're both at? I know for me, there's massive strategic differences based on when I got in at Countrywide, where there was no documentation needed, compared to now, how we strategically start a file and pre-approve and everything like that. What would you say has remained timeless?
When you're buying a property to live in, the emotional attachment has never
Totally.
changed.
Yeah.
Has never changed. I don't care the price, the square footage, location. Yes, all that is important. And I will tell my buyers when you walk into a property, you're gonna say, this is the house that I want. If you don't have that feeling, don't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
There is a house out there for everyone, what they want and how they feel. And so that emotion, for an investor, it's completely different. There's no emotion involved. It's all numbers.
Right.
But for somebody who's gonna live in that house, the emotional attachment has never changed. There's always emotional attachment over the years.
Yeah. For the people selling and the people about to buy.
Ye- yes,
Like,
selling is a little bit different. And of course, it's harder when they have emotional attachment to
right.
property, especially if they live there 20, 30, 40 years. That's very hard. But
Even if you've only lit, like, I would imagine that has stayed the same as well,
of
because we're
course,
people, right? So our
that's
emotion,
why I said emotional. Selling or buying,
yeah.
it's the same thing. The
Even if
emotional
I'm there
attachment
for
to the
five
house.
years, you still have an attachment. You still think it's probably worth more than it is.
Yes.
You have an idea of what it's worth. It's always a little bit more than what it is.
And
Um,
it's not only the house, it's funny, it's the furniture too. You
yeah,
can't convince the seller to get rid of the furniture, the old furniture.
really.
Yes, I have had
Oh, for staging and
for
stuff.
staging and stuff.
That's funny.
No, that's the furniture. I bought it at this place for this much. I love it. I've been using it for 30 years. Good for you, but sorry, it's outdated. It's not the new client wants. And
Yeah,
a lot of buyers, they don't have imagination. So if you don't stage it, they won't be able to see
what it could be.
afterwards what they can do with it.
Do you always stage your listings, like regardless if there's already furniture in it?
95% of the time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'll try to take out that furniture out.
Even if they're still living in it?
Yes. And then again, I will ask them why they're selling and where they're moving. That's the first question that I ask, why they're selling. And if it doesn't make sense for them to sell, I will tell them, I'm not selling your property. You don't need to sell this property. You want to move, move. Let's rent it out. It will bring passive income for you. But
Mm,
it makes sense for them to sell and move. I will encourage them to move because I know that I can sell any property at the right price. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to sell it. So I will convince them to move out before I put it on the market.
got it. Got it.
Because although I have done with their furniture or older buildings or units that they cannot move before getting that money, I work with mortgage lenders to get bridge loans. So
Or
they
not bridge loans.
you guys do?
There's so many better ways to do that
Okay.
than a
Okay.
bridge loans are so expensive.
I say okay. Yeah, so that they can get the equity and buy the
To buy
property
buy
without.
before sell. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But yet I'll prefer not to because again, I hate to advertise other people's furniture.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't look good, even if it looks
It
good,
does. Yeah.
they might have an expensive art piece on the wall. So it's a liability for me
Mm.
when I'm advertising. So I'll make sure that, I don't know, they have a Ladro piece, crystal piece sitting on the table. Those things, I don't want to go over knickknacks and say, oh, is this expensive? Is this not? I'll much rather have a clean slate to work on, and then we'll put our own, and I can advertise. We have to be careful what we advertise.
Yeah, I never thought of that before, but that makes sense. Yeah, if there's an expensive sculpture or it can, I'm sure there are people out there looking for homes that they
Yes,
want to know what's inside the home, and the best way
yes.
to see what's inside the home is, yeah, on a listing.
Unfortunately, that's what the world we live in. So we have to be
Yeah.
careful.
God, I never thought about that. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah. And what would you say, shifting gears a little bit, what would you say is your best advice for buyers right now who are uncertain of whether or not it's the right time?
If you find the right property and you walk in there and you say, this is my home, buy it now. Don't wait. Always you date the interest rate and you marry the house. When the interest rate goes down, you can refinance and have a lower mortgage. But if you can afford with today rates, buy it if you find the right property. Don't wait. Because I would say if you wait, you and a couple of thousand people are waiting on the sidelines for the interest rate to come down.
Totally.
And the minute that comes down, I don't see how the supply is going to go up. And we're going to go back to multiple offers. And I hate for the buyers, for their sake, to buy in a multiple offer. I'd much rather now to negotiate, although my sellers love that, but in multiple offers, but yet
Yeah,
when I'm representing a buyer, I feel really bad for them because they have to submit 6, 7 offers
I know.
uh,
6 or 7 is good.
until they get accepted. Also, what I will do, I will never let a buyer, unless they're adamant about it, I will never let a buyer overpay on a property. I will do my comps. I'll put a little bit more than asking, which is fine. And I will have stronger terms. It's not always about the price. The terms are very important too.
Yeah,
So if you have a good reputation in the industry as a realtor, and if you have good terms, you'll be surprised people will accept your offer on multiple
sure.
offers. So I don't want them to overpay. I hate to overpay. I'll say, okay, I'll prepare them from the beginning. We're gonna be in bidding war, but I don't want you to overpay. So we'll do the comps, we'll submit. If that doesn't happen, we'll find the next one. But it's very hard for somebody because I tell them from the beginning that when you walk into that house, you're gonna feel it's your house. And then I will tell them there's the 6, 7 houses that you have to feel that it's your house.
We always say that when the one bus leaves, there's another bus behind it,
I know.
and it's normally the bus you're supposed to get on. And it is a weird, sometimes I'll tell clients, like, don't start envisioning your furniture in the house yet.
I know.
Don't do it. You're gonna want to. It's just what naturally happens. Oh my God, we're gonna put that in that corner, and I see this in there. And they start looking through the pictures, and that's where the emotional involvement gets started, even before the offer goes out. But it's
Yeah,
just the natural thing that people get excited about. But yeah, it's not your home until there are keys in hand. Even if you're
yeah,
in escrow, it's not your home
yes,
until there are keys
yeah.
in hand. Yeah, that's a tough one. It's not even necessarily, I'm finding the interest rate right now that's like stopping people from going in. A lot of people backed to the side at the beginning of the year and in February and March and stuff because of the market. And it's a hard discussion to have with somebody because you can understand why they feel reticent, but it ends up, the only thing you can say is a home tomorrow is always going to be worth more than what it is today. Even if it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, like it's going to end up being more, and you are going to end up paying more for it. And it's a hard thing to wrap your head around when people are like, no, it's the wrong time to buy, values are going to come down. Like we said earlier, it's supply and demand, and that is just something that is not a, a large factor in LA when it comes to supply.
Yeah, the chief economist of California Association of Realtors, about, if I'm not mistaken, it was about 12 years ago, at one of the seminars, she said the average home in LA County now, at that time, it was $360,000. And she said, in 10 years, we're going to see $1 million. And we hit $1 million for average home.
Was
In
10
LA
years
County,
ago it only 360? Like
yeah,
trying to think,
yeah,
2015.
average home. This is average home,
Right,
LA County. That includes all the areas and all the neighborhoods because some areas were already at $1 million, but some areas were 200, 250,000. So it was averaging out around 300,000 something.
right. Yeah. Wow. Because I got in 2005.
I'm not talking about the popular areas. In LA,
Yes,
you
no,
have a lot
totally.
of
As
different
a
areas.
whole, as
Yes.
a whole. Yeah, yeah. And that's what's so interesting too, is because when you actually look at the median sales price and the median loan amount that Fannie and Freddie When I started, we were like in the 400s for the median loan amount for the country, and that was our conforming loan amount. And now our conforming loan amount is 806. My high balance is 1.2 in high cost areas like Los Angeles. So to even think that the average loan, not purchase, the average loan is 1.2 in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And that's coming from Fannie and Freddie.
Yes.
So it's pretty interesting. And
Mm.
every year it just goes up. It will be interesting to see how much they take it up for 26
Yeah.
based on what's happening in 25. Based on,
Yes.
like you said, that the market is stabilizing. I feel like it's softened, but same difference. So it will be interesting based on that to see if they bump the loan up a lot,
Yes.
because they've been doing that quite a bit.
Yeah. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that think that real estate values are gonna fall, real estate property values are gonna go down. Mm. My personal opinion is no. My personal opinion is yes, it's stabilizing. We can negotiate because it's at a stabilized at a peak, but that doesn't mean that we're gonna see, when was it? 2008 again? Because 2008 was
No.
completely different. The reason why that happened was reverse mortgages and stated incomes and blah blah blah, 100% financing.
Yeah,
We're
negative
not in that
amortization.
situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And right now, people have equity. Even if they're in financial hardship, they have equity. So they can easily sell that house. I really doubt that we're going to see NODs as much as before. Of course, always there's NODs, but
Even my stated income like we do a lot of non-QM because I have in-house delegated investors that we do it with. So I do everything in-house. And the non-QM, which are asset depletion, bank statement only, P&L only, like these files that are really stated, but not, we are very much verifying either money in the bank or income for this person based on bank statements and deposits and things like that. They have the money to do it. So we're not just taking on a whim that like your dog's going to pay the mortgage the way we did in
yeah,
2007. So it's a very different time and people don't want to lose their home now,
of course.
especially on those loans because first off, if a standard home is 1.2 or 1.3, you need to bring 10% or more down minimum on those type of loans and people aren't going to walk away from that kind of money.
Yeah,
It's not 100% financing anymore.
yeah. Yeah,
So
the only requirement in 2008 was if you can breathe, you can
social
get
security
more.
number.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I used to say if you have a date of birth and a social security, I don't need anything. It was so wild when I started. I started at Countrywide in the fast and easy days. And I remember when I first got going, my mentor was like, "You're just gonna click this program and that's gonna be the program you choose. It's called Fast and Easy." And I was like, why am I choosing that program? And she's like, "Because you don't need anything." And I was like, what do you mean I don't need anything? I had just gone through all this training.
Were you at Walnut Grove, Countrywide?
What's that?
Walnut Grove, Countrywide? Which
I was
office?
at Toluca Lake.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You met with Mayshal Hoop. You might know Mayshal Hoop was my
I know
mentor.
her very well. Yes.
Yeah, she was my mentor.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
I started under May.
I see. Okay.
Uh-huh. And and I was like, why? What? I don't even understand that. Fast and easy. Like what? It was mind-boggling to me. And it was like, you're going to set it up as an 80-20, 80-20, 80-20. You never even asked if somebody wanted to do a down payment. You just immediately assumed it was an 80-20, which for our audience means 80% first loan, 20%
Percent.
second loan. It assumes immediately you're bringing no money down, and we're financing the property through two loans so that you don't have mortgage insurance. So it's a first and a second, and
Yeah.
every single file was set up that way. You didn't even ask. And I was like, this is wild. You're, they're not putting any money down, like nothing. How are we letting them buy homes if we're
Yeah.
not asking them for any upfront investment? I couldn't wrap my head around it. It was like a month before I got into the groove of it because I was like, this is ridiculous. This is wild what's going on. And it really This is 2005, right? So it really freaked me out. I got the hang of it by 2006. But that first few months, I was like, I don't get it. I don't get why banks are taking on this massive amount of risk. I don't I don't understand where the collateral is. I just I couldn't understand it. And sure enough, it was pretty devastating.
Yeah. The worst was Negam loans.
The
Like
worst. And
Negam was the worst.
I never sold one. I never sold one. And it's because, again, I couldn't sell it. I couldn't wrap my head around how to sell it.
I know.
It was an awful thing,
Worst loans, yes.
unless the borrower knew they were selling in 4 months, that they were literally buying to fix and flip
Yeah.
just to get out and pay a very small monthly. They were very scary, dangerous loans, and we got paid triple on them.
Yeah.
We got paid triple. Couldn't do it. I
Yeah.
almost did one, and then finally I convinced him to go a different route. I was like,
Good. Good.
it's not good for you. You want to live in the house.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest thing. You can't live in a house where your mortgage is getting bigger every month. Like, it's not safe.
And
You
then
know?
in 1 year, you're gonna start, or 2 years, you're gonna start paying quadruple what you're paying now.
You already put no money in.
Yeah.
So you're taking a bet that the value is going to increase by 10 to 15%. It would have to. And that every year, because your loan is getting bigger by 10%, your value better go higher by that amount, just so that you can still break even.
Yes.
Because your loan to value is going to stay at 100 throughout. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I agree with
Not
you.
good banking, and I think the world realized that.
Yep.
Anyways, what is there anything else that you would like to share with our audience? It's been such a nice chat with you today.
Mainly, if you buyer or a seller, work with a professional realtor who is gonna do, who's gonna take care of you, who's gonna care why you're selling and why you're buying. If they don't ask you that question, please don't work with them. I don't care
Right.
which realtor you work with. If their first question is not why you are selling the property or why do you want to buy a property, that means they're only looking at the amount of money that they're gonna make and they don't care what's happening to you.
Right.
So work only with professionals. Make sure that professional mortgage lender, mortgage broker, and professional realtor. It's
Very
very
important.
important because there's a lot of details in buying and selling a property. And if they're not knowledgeable about a lot, and if they're not caring enough, they're not going to do a good job. I'll guarantee you.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. It was lovely speaking with you. Thank you for spending your time and sharing your knowledge. And it's been a real treat. Everybody, we're going to put Shahe's information. He has a YouTube channel that I'm going to actually check out. He has a website, of course, Facebook, Instagram. He's the real deal on social, which is amazing. And I will look forward to possibly speaking with you again soon.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the time with you.
Of course. Thanks for listening to Mortgage on My Mind. If you're ready to start your mortgage journey or have any questions, I'd love to help. With 20 years of experience, I make the process as simple and stress-free as possible. Check the show notes for my contact info, and don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast. Until next time, I'm Natalie Salins, here to help make your real estate dreams a reality.